So let me ask you this, Mr. Mayor. We have a gentleman in the crowd out here that would like to ask a question. You all right with it?
Yeah, good.
Mr. Huffman, cornerman, hey, hand me my mic right there. Right here, you got his own mic. All you gotta do is turn it on.
Oh, he has his own Huffman podcast there. He does a great job, by the way. I'm sure he's not gonna let you slide out before we go on. Well, you didn't need that mic if he's gonna come up here.
How you doing? I'm doing well. I'll stay on his seat until he gets back. I guess I'm gonna play the devil's advocate a little bit, if that's all right. And they said the city council was sitting on our ass so much that they needed somebody to come out and do some stand-up comedy. So I come up with a couple jokes. And I'm not the most funny guy, but I did my best.
Looks count.
So, you've been impeached, and then you've been unimpeached by the judge. And it's got to be like you're the political equivalent of a comeback Kid Rock tour. Nobody asked for it, but everybody's watching it. And Kid Rock is America's badass, you know. And the council's got to be your opponent, Matt Orr. He's referred to him as I think a circus. So my question is, are we clowning around down there and doing this for like political theater so that everybody's watching what's going on and we don't have to fix a pothole? Or are we dealing with real issues that's really going on? Because you did say that you're trying to fix the things that are broken.
Yeah. And I think that's a great question. You know, is this, I can assure you that on this side of the stage, it's very painful, a lot of council meetings. But, you know, I do believe on their side that it's a lot of political theater. I believe that, you know, between them, if they create the chaos and they can get rid of me because, you know, they don't associate the chaos with me or the election. So I do believe that on their side that it's a lot, you know, and I've talked to Matt Orr, Matt Orr licensee, you know, we shook hands and gave each other a half up. There's no disrespect between me, and I don't want to get into that negative politics at all with that, but you know, as far as council goes, it is. They've got one agenda, they've had one agenda since I won. Remember, this has been, I've been in office for 3 years. And I'm telling you, my mom told me here about a month ago, she said, you aged 20 years. And I said, well, imagine being shot at and stopped 24 hours a day. I said, it can get pretty violent, but I've got to be able to stand to make that change. But yeah, there is a lot of political theater. They've got a lot of it staged, and you know, we're just going to navigate through it. I can't throw with those 5 people. I'm not going to speak against John Brenner because he's just now getting up there. I'm not going to judge him. I will judge him on his actions. But right now, it seems like he's pretty level. So, and I hope, even with him appointing him, that he's getting there and he's going to just maybe level things out with this and all that time.
Earlier in the year, you mentioned firing the entire fire department, and I thought that was a bold statement coming from someone that their career in politics could be going up in smoke in any second.
Well, and put that into context, and that's another great question. You know, anytime that you can hear misinformation, you know, I want to be able to clear it up. Council had passed a budget that would have required me to fire all of the firefighters and most of the police department here in the city. So
you said council passed the budget. Who's responsible for making the budget before it gets presented to the council?
Normally, the mayor is. Normally, I think create the budget and then I present it with the budget summary. This budget, however, I had nothing to do with it. And that's why all the numbers were totally messed up. And if you take what council, they were doing with their attorneys, they created this budget. And if you look at that budget that they had passed, it was going to require me to lay off these figures on the fire department, police. It was also one time that we didn't have, that's the reason we wound up with they took the court, because we wouldn't even be able to run the vehicles that we did have because they didn't give us enough money for fuel. Right. So that becomes a budgetary thing. But under normal circumstances, the mayor presents it, and then they take action from there. But this this particular budget and
Thank you.
Matt, thank you so much. We
I got one
appreciate
more
it.
question before I go.
yeah, go ahead.
Sue Bennett got turned into the YMCA. What is it now?
So,
That's only half of the question, but
yeah, good question. So the tourism did get one building up there donated to them. There's a church up there, but that's privately owned land, and so most of it's just city.
one waste.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing personal against you. I mean, it's just for the people in London and people in Morrill County that got kids. Listen, the crime rate and the statistics on criminal activity is out of the world in Morrill County and around here, and you know that. So you know that there's a lot of kids growing up out here without mommies and daddies and mamas and papas and big brothers and big sisters. All I'm saying is, like, you said that they're our future, you know, and you know, we got public schools. Public schools. We know what that's like nowadays. So, where can our kids go to besides Families Overrank up here to get some positive, you know, YMCA is a Christian-based organization. They don't try to run Jesus down your throat, but they give you a place to come be safe and play basketball or do arts and crafts or discover who you are as a person, because you might not be able to do it in an environment that you're coming up in. Boys and girls clubs, like, I know you're not in charge of Williamsburg, but like the men, places like that, other places we know that can generate money, but other than restaurants, I mean, everybody loves a good place to eat, but let's put back in, like, really put back in the community and build for our future.
And that goes what we were saying with alternatives for people.
Yeah,
Instead of being on this back road doing drugs, having somewhere they can go.
Yeah, and you know, and I feel your passion in that. You know, that's something that, again, if you go back to a year and a half now, well, it's been really over 2 years that we're fighting with this council. These actions that you're talking about takes both bodies. I'm just one part of the equation, right? So you talk about YMCA, yes, we 2 years ago we was reaching out to them. A year and a half ago, you start seeing the fiasco of what the new election happened and the chaos ensued. And that chaos and all that would happen for the last 15 months, that's been the heartbreak for all of us on this side, because it's things like that are not being taken care of. In the Big Boys and Girls Club, we do have individuals here that stepped up 18 months ago, 2 months before they had all took office. You know, I was sitting in the office with this group of people that's going to be heading that program that live here locally. We were talking with the organization itself to try to get that implemented. And then the new election comes and they came about impeachment, and then we had a tornado. We need to remember there's been some big events happening here in Morrill County. You know, when it comes to the I-75 shooter, to, you know, the tornado itself, the water situation as well. So there's a lot of things that still place that this negative wants to kind of gravitate back. I was actually hoping that the tornado would have brought us all together so we could get back to work with the issues that they're talking about. It's not even our youth, it's our seniors. You know, we were looking at new programs again. We have a lot of seniors, over 475 seniors that have to be fed here in Auburn, and it's probably a lot more than that. You know, a lot of the older folks will not ask for anything. But we need to be focusing on those kind of things. And, you know, the homeless situation, that's another thing that we felt with. You've seen a big reduction in the amount of people you see walking
Out here on the street, walking around.
because we have that initiative I started 3 years ago when I come into office, Pathway to Hope. We try to get them back to their families. So mine, Victoria, has a non-profit organization. So that organization has stepped up many times, but that's just not that. CCC here has stepped up. They've helped us with a lot of those folks, and then private individuals. So, but you got to get out of this noise, and you got to have elected officials on both sides that see value in people that you're talking about. And I'm going to tell you something. There's some of the parts of that good old boy system here. These kids are talking about, they don't care about it, because I was that little boy, and that's why I advocate for that voice.
Well, the kids now, they don't know about Jimmy Donatel's or Roger Shaw or, you know, they don't know none of this stuff. You know, that's our generation and the generation before us. They don't have to get caught up in all this stuff. They can just kind of, you know, if we would let it happen and stuff, but, you know, that's not what I want want to get stuff on. I'm not blaming you, Mayor.
Yeah.
I respect you. I think that you're doing a good job. I wish that everybody could kind of get moving along with real progress. And I believe that you got to put your head together and get something done.
Yeah, and I'm not disagreeing with you, that's what we want to see.
You ever need anything from Point of Impact Podcast? I'm Michael Huffman.
All right.
You look me up on Facebook or call me on my cell phone, look me up. I'm not hard to find. I work at IC. I don't have a lot of money, but I'll be willing to work with you.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you, Mike, as always, brother, love you.
Mayor, let me ask you a question. At any point through this, all this stuff,